Test. Well, I guess that test works now. Oh God. That's aggravating. That's really aggravating. Sorry, folks. It seems that I had some technical difficulties with my sound. It seems that I've got my sound going now, so here's hoping it's working. It probably sounds muffled or crappy right now because I had to switch over to my other microphone due to the fact that my good one, didn't want to work. I could try and do it again, but I don't know if it'll work or not. So yeah, it looks like I have to try and figure out why my good microphone's not working. Yay, troubleshooting! So let's go back, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children over the age of 18, 19, or 21, depending on where you live. Welcome to the episode that I was talking about earlier. So I had a good night tonight. I would love to tell you all about it, and in fact I will. All right, I'll go back and do it again. So tonight there was a Cask War, and it was out at a place I've never been to before. It was actually a lot of fun. It was down at Midtown Kitchen, and in Calgary is off of 10th Street in the Northwest. So this place is sort of like a nice little joint. A lot of people are there. Parking's a bitch. Plain and simple, parking's a bitch. The fact is that down there you have to wait till 6 o'clock, and unfortunately parking's just, it's horrible. So I had to wait till 6 o'clock to finally get a parking spot because I circled the block so many damn times, tried to find parking in the back, couldn't find parking in the back. It was just, it was a nightmare. I was seeing parking in Safeway, and that was sketchy enough as is. That area is sketchy anyways. So I got there, and I went and sat down beside the casks because I wanted to try these casks, and I pretty much had a good time. So I tried these two beers, and it was Big Rock versus Last Best. And what happened was it was the best of the IPAs. So Big Rock brought in their cask, and Last Best brought in their cask. And by the way, I'm drinking a Big Rock right now. That's the beer I'm drinking. I'll formally be reviewing it another time, but for now, I wanted one of those, and I'm having it. I'm sticking with my IPA theme tonight. So I went and tried both of these beers, and it felt like one was playing it safe, the other one went out and above and went over and above what they're doing. And I've got some tasting notes on my Facebook page of the different beers. I'll quickly pull these up here, and I'll tell you what happened with them. So they don't tell you whose is whose. They say that one is beer A and one is beer B. And beer A was cloudy as heck. It was just orange, cloudy, and it was thick. It looked thick. It was unfiltered, and it actually looked quite delicious. The other one had a little bit more filter to it. Still a little cloudy, but it looked like it was filtered for a little bit. Beer A, is what we'll call it, was 5.9%, and beer B was 6.1%. So they were both above 5%, which is nice to see. Beer A was a piney smell. So it had kind of like a pine smell to it, which was really interesting to see and smell. And it kind of made me feel like I was out in the middle of the forest. It was actually one of those ones that it was actually different. It was actually quite unique, to say the least. I actually liked it. It was very, very robust. The other one wasn't as robust. Now, it could have been because I had A first or had a few sips of A, so it just came after my taste buds like there was no tomorrow. B was a little bit more reserved, and it was quite mild compared to A. It was a little bit more fruity. Didn't get quite an IPA taste to it, so I don't know how long it was in the cask for, but it still was good. Like, it was a delightful beer, and I was finding myself drinking that more than I was with A because it was actually really good to drink. So they were both on opposite ends of the scale, but they were really, really quite good, and I actually enjoyed both of them at the same time. Um, it was one of those ones where I would totally have this again, both of them, but I had to choose one. Fair enough. So I went with the one that actually was quite nice for me. I actually enjoyed number A because it was out there, it was different, it was quite unique, and it was one of the ones that it stood out. It really did. So while we were waiting for the votes to be tallied, I was throwing myself on Twitter because I had another reason to be there. I was meeting the CFO, or CBO, sorry, Chief Beer Officer of the Canadian Cask Club, or Canadian Craft Club, or Canada Craft Club. Let me get this properly. So the Canada Craft Club is a new group that's come to Canada where you can order these beers, but you don't know what beers they are, and they come to your house and you enjoy them. They come in packs of 2, 6, or 2, 4, and 6. And they're between 650 and 750 milliliters. And they claim that they are the craft beers. Now, their first day was January, which was it was their first time. So, and it was one of those ones where, you're new, and everything is brand new, and you're hoping it goes perfectly, swimmingly. We all know that doesn't happen. There were some technical difficulties, and it actually upset some people because it really wasn't explained, but everything was sent out. Now, there's a lot of people that enjoy the beers, and as we're talking, it's true. You have these people that drink Miller Canadian Labatt's. You have these people that are on the cusp of drinking craft beers. You have these people that enjoy craft beers. And you have these people that are beer aficionados, snobs, geeks, whatever you want to call them. And you're going to get the range of between, they're on possibly the cusp, but they're not too sure, up to the snobs. More so between the snobs and the geek, like the people who enjoy craft beers. So the first month that came around, they actually had a couple of beers that technically was not classed as a craft beer. Fair enough. It wasn't a craft beer. They're made by macro breweries, or bought out by macro breweries, and now with them. That's understandable. I can see why some people were upset about that. Other people, they loved it because they've never had this before. So it was brand new to them. The 4 and 6 packs, I think they had some duplicates in there. I've heard rumors that they had some duplicates in there, which, yeah, if you're going to get a package like that, you don't want duplicates. Again, learning curves. These are things that they're going to probably have to iron out. Totally understandable. Then there's the cost behind it. Well, the two pack had these beers that were under pretty much $10. I had to look myself. They were between, the first one was probably about $8 here, and the next one was about, I'd say about 12. They say that it's $25, $26 including shipping, or without shipping, $34 with shipping within Alberta, and then the price goes up there depending on where in Canada you live. It can get costly. understandable. You want something good. Well, if you're a beer aficionado, you want something good. If you're new to the game and you haven't tried any of this stuff before, you're okay with this. You really are, and I can see that. So I sat down with the CBO, and she was really nice, and we chatted for a good half an hour while we're talking about a few things, and she actually saw me kind of defend their company while talking to someone who really didn't like it because of the fact of the beers that they got. And there's some things that she explained to me that I forgot about, and that usually does happen around here. Now, a little background. I've been buying the craft beer advent calendar every December, and there is always something that goes wrong. This first year I bought it was the second year that they brought it out, and that one was Canada, US, and Mexico. They sold out instantly, absolutely instantly there. Sorry. So they were doing good from last year. People were buying this stuff up and loving it. However, there were some beers that were duplicates in there, and people were starting to get a little upset. They weren't duplicate beers, they were duplicate breweries. That actually kind of hurt them a little bit. But they were still good beers. The next year was the international one. That one was a little bit more troublesome because of the fact they had to get these beers back in September. So when you get these beers back in September, you're going to see that some of them may go skunky, or they may go bad, or they may explode on contact. Whatever the case may be, you're going to have issues. And so that caused a lot of backlash. This year, they were from United States and Canada. Now, they had everything down pat. They had what they needed to do for beers. They threw in cans so that the IPAs could stay fresher inside a can and not get oxidized or have the light pretty much hurt the beers. This is all great stuff that they did, but the packaging sucked. Absolutely sucked. So they had to do some other things. Now, that being said, the year before, day one of the Craft Beer Advent Calendar, most people got a certain type of beer. And then BC got a different kind. Why? Because they ran out of stock. Why did that happen? Because they had breakage. So shit fell apart. It broke. Got it. That's the tough part about it. Shit breaks. You have to come up with an alternate solution. Now, why am I telling you all this? Why? Because stuff happens. It absolutely has something break or have some sort of issue. That's pretty much what happened with the first month of this. You want this to be perfect. You want this to be spectacular. You want to come out of the gate hitting hard, flying hard, and just explode into the market. Now, when that market turns to you and says, we want this product, now we want it, we're buying it, this is an awesome idea because no one's really doing it aside from liquordirect.ca, but you choose your own beers there. And even then, there's sometimes where they do get rid of their old stock. I've seen it, and it's just kind of gross. But there's also times where you get some good stuff. This is stuff you don't know that you're going to get. So you expect to be surprised with this wonderful beer, this craft beer. And the first batch there was not craft beer. There was macrobrewery beer. Some people got 3-month-old beer, which can cause a lot of issues because it's 3-month-old beer. There's going to be some glitches, and that's the tough part. Is there's always going to be some glitches. You build something like this, there will be glitches. The hard part about the glitch that they had was they weren't expecting to explode out of the get-go. These guys sold a lot of beers that they absolutely couldn't get what they needed. They had to pretty much revamp what they had to do. So yes, there was some good craft beers in there, but to the geeks or aficionados, they weren't craft beers, they were macros. That kind of hurts a little bit. And so you have these people like, I'm sorry, I'm going to pick on you, Albino Rano, who had one of these, and he had some very valid points. He had some amazing valid points, and they were so true. But there was some stuff that it's you don't expect it. You really don't. So I sat down and talked with her. I heard that, yeah, they weren't expecting to have this many people order this on their first get-go. That would shock anybody. It really would. I know I'd be shocked because we don't have something like this up in Canada. You have it down the States. You have it local possibly, like because Alberta has liquordirect.ca, but I don't know if they can send anywhere else. Ontario has their own thing, but you don't have somewhere that can do Canada. And there's a lot of legal ramifications for that. And they've done a lot of research on this. They've made it so that it will work one way or another for everybody. And I can see that. So they had a lot of demand, but they didn't have the supply. They learned from that. Okay? They really learned from that. You had duplicates. Again, not enough supply. You learn from that. This was their inaugural month, and they were trying to make an impression, and they made a good impression for some, bad impression for others, because people grow to expect. You can't please everybody. Totally cannot please everybody. Trust me, as a reviewer, I don't please everybody. I never, ever go into with the expectation that I'd be able to please everybody. You just can't do it. You can please as many people as you try to, do what you can, and with ones that don't like it, I'm sorry, but it may not be for you. So yeah, you can't quite please everybody, but you can try. But for the most part, for the people that thought this was a good idea, because Alberta has, we have one of the biggest craft beer markets in Canada. Aside from Vancouver's got the biggest craft beer breweries in Canada, alongside with Ontario, who's got a lot of craft beer breweries inside their area as well. But Alberta had it where they can get all these beers sent to them. That's kind of changed a little bit, but it's not changed a lot. So we've got this going on. And we also have it where, as the CEO said, she's got some great ideas. She's going to be putting some different styles of beers in there. She didn't tell me what kind. She didn't tell me what kind. I tried to probe her, but she wouldn't release that. But I know that she's very excited at what she wants to do. She's been in this business for a very long time. And when you have something and you say, I want to do this, and you go and pimp it out on Facebook, you go and pimp it out on Twitter, you go and pimp it out everywhere, and make it look like they've been there for a while, that was marketing. That was a marketing genius right there. Because everyone's like, oh, I've never heard of this. I want in. But nobody knows about it. But they want in. I've got to have this. I was like that. I looked at this going, hey, I can have this. I really can have this. However, I looked at where it was and went, well, I can get this. I can get this in my local area. What would you do to make me want to have this? I just wouldn't go out to a beer store and say, oh, well, that's the one I've got. That's the one I've got. Let's see if you actually done the same thing. Give me something that will keep me interested. And there might be something that's going to keep me interested, and there might be something that actually might appease me. I might actually enjoy this. Like I said, she's got some great ideas of what's coming up. So I saw the title cards and I saw the tasting notes cards, and I have to say they're great. I absolutely love them. They've got all sorts of information so that the connoisseur can actually enjoy it. The newbies can enjoy it. The aficionados can enjoy it because they've got all sorts of stuff. The packaging, which what I saw, was really good. There's also other factors. Breakage is one of them. Now, breakage, you got a glass, something's going to break. No matter what, something's going to break. You can be as careful as you want, but there will be something that will break. So you will have spillage. So that costs a little bit of money. You have lawyer fees because you have to make this as perfect as you can within the legal guidelines of Canada. That's going to cost you a little bit of money. You have employees that you have to pay. That's going to cost you a little bit of money. You have meetings that you have to do. That's going to cost you a little bit of money. And I would love to say this fully, that there is going to be a lot. I'd love to tell you what it is. I really would. But I'm not going to. Why? Because I don't want to spoil the surprise. But there is a lot of good things coming out. And folks, I have to say, give it time. It may not be this month. It may not be next month. It may not be the month afterwards. But give it time, because of the fact that this is a product that is in the infancy stage. There will be hiccups. There will be some things, and there will be people going, well, I don't want to buy that because of this shit that happened. Understandable. That is totally your choice. But you have to give it time. There's always a growing period, no matter what, with any company. And when you've all of a sudden exponentially grown past what your own goals are within the first time of even sending a single thing out, that is not only scary, but makes you go, oh crap, damn it, I gotta do something quickly. But they still got things out to the customer. That right there shows that they care. The customer feedback, when they turned around and someone complained, they got right back to them. And it's one of those things that you can look at and just enjoy. Really, you just have to possibly give it a bit of time. Like I said, I'm excited for this. I'm very, very tempted to see what this is all about. Who knows? I'm still on the fence a little bit, not gonna lie. And I even told her that. I said, I'm sorry, I'm still on the fence because I want to see how you're gonna build this. I want to see how you're gonna grow this. Because there was some things, and being a beer geek, and I am a geek, I'm not an aficionado, I'm not that high up, but I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, that's not quite craft beer. I still like those picks. Those are good picks. But I still will go out and see what the cost is, and if it's not cost worthy, I actually will have an issue with it. So, offhand, for the people that have just jumped off the bandwagon and everything else like that, hang on for a bit. See what other people have got going for them, and go from there. Like, really, check it out. I don't say fully give up on it. Like, I've seen people say, I'm done, I'm absolutely done, I'm not spending this money because I've got this better thing over here. Fair enough. Fair enough. And it's fair enough that you have a better thing over here. Like, for Once again, sorry, Elano. For him, he's got a great thing going there. He's got these beer, he's got the same things in Ontario that ships locally, and it costs less because it's within Ontario. Whereas you're shipping from Calgary to Ontario, which is 1, 2, 3 provinces away. And not only do they have to pay for the taxes, like the company has to pay for the taxes of importing the beer into Alberta, they have to pay for the taxes of taking that beer and sending it out to the end user. So they're getting taxed twice, sometimes even 3 times, depending on what happens. So they're losing costs, but they're still willing to do this for you. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of different things that come into play, and is it going to do good? It just might. It really just might. If you're local within Alberta, it might be a good thing. I've got to see what the next couple of months brings. I know that there's probably going to be a thing or two that actually may interest people. Bring them back again. Because of the fact that she knows a lot of people, okay? She knows a heck of a lot of people. She's been around the business a lot. Now, if I remember correctly, she's also a Cicerone. And if I mispronounce that, I'm not one, so, you know. She knows her shit. She absolutely does. She's got a passion, she drives at it, and she's willing to make this work one way or another. And I'd like to see if this goes, I would love to see this just explode again. I would really love to see this explode, because not only is it good for everybody around them, it's also good for Alberta, because this is kind of something we need. This little push is something we need to get our craft beers going again, local and otherwise, because of the fact that we can do that. Because of the fact that we have no restrictions, just a lot of fucking taxes of what we can bring in and what we can send out. And it's going to cost a bit of money. I'm sorry. I have to say it will. If you did it in, say, Saskatchewan, you would not get half the beers that you could in Alberta. If you did it in Manitoba, they're trying, but they still have some strict regulations. Ontario, good luck getting it out of Ontario. Quebec, we know how strict those guys are. And so on and so forth. BC, they like to keep it within their own province as well, but now they've got the more freedom to bring it into Alberta because of what's going on, which means it gives us a chance to send it out. Here we go. There, I like this. There, you guys get to enjoy it too. This is actually a great thing. Like it's got to grow. It's really got to grow, and it will. I've got a feeling it will. So bear with it. Honestly, bear with it for just a little bit longer. See what happens. Don't give up on it. Keep your eye on it. Don't pay for something you don't want quite yet, but just keep your eye on it. And if there's somebody that wants to pay for it, ask them, was it worth it? If you feel like that you can give it another chance, take it. Honestly, take it. Like I said, I have to see what comes in. There probably will be something that I have never seen, that anyone in Alberta has never seen, that they get exclusively. And they've taken a page from the Craft Beer Advent folks for that, because they get stuff exclusively. And they can use that to their advantage, saying, we've got this exclusive stuff. This is for us and us only. It'll be hitting the shelves possibly later on. It's hit the shelves other places, but you've never seen it here until it's in the calendar. And they've done that for many years, and that's what keeps me coming back to them. It's like, oh crap, there's more stuff? Sweet, I'll have it. Give it to me. This year was Duclaw. This one was Sweet Baby Jesus. And I saw all this stuff down the States, and people were talking about it and loving it. And guess what? We got it. And when I saw it and I opened it up, my eyes lit up like it was Christmas time, and I was overjoyed. where there's other people that's like, oh, cool, Duclaw. I've never heard of this brewery. I've never heard of half these breweries in here. I've never seen half these breweries. And yet they've been in Alberta for a very long time. You have to go with the good and the bad, and you have to get the proper market. And these guys got it. Like they know what to do, and I've got a really good feeling about them. So yeah, give them a chance. Now, that's my little rant, my little rebuttal, because I saw some things about it, and I wanted to get a full story, and I want to give my opinion. Yes, the first month, it sucked, okay? I'm not going to deny that. It sucked because the cost was too low for those bombers. They weren't craft. Technically speaking, they weren't craft to the geeks out there. Shipping is a little expensive, but shipping is going to be expensive no matter what. The boxes they use are these big boxes, and shipping is going to be a little bit costly. Understandable, okay? I totally get where they're coming from with that. They weren't expecting, but on the rebuttal side, they weren't expecting the demand. So they had to find something quickly. So they had to talk to their suppliers and see what they can get quickly so that they can give everybody that ordered a beer. I'd rather have someone order a beer than not get one because they ordered it and there's not enough stock. I'm sorry, we're sold out. Here's your money back. That doesn't cut it. Everybody got a beer. From what I can tell, everybody did. Also from the fact that it was brand new. The fact that the packaging is amazing. The fact that there's a lot of talks as we speak to this very day of what they can do to make it better. They're not sitting there going, well, whatever, these people don't know what they're talking about. That's craft, that's craft. No. As she said, there were some valid points. Excellent valid points. For the people that never had it, they enjoyed it. For the people that had it, excellent valid points for the ones that just didn't like it. They are listening, okay? That's consumerism 101. You listen to your clients, you build off of it, you grow, you make yourself better. Gotta love it. Got to love that part. That right there speaks volumes to me. And I mean, she actually sat down with me and she talked to me, and that was awesome. Like, she was hosting an event and she sat down, oh, I'm glad you came. Thank you for taking my invitation. I'm like, well, beer? Yeah. Okay. Cask Wars? Yeah. I'm there. But I also want to talk to her too, just to see how she's got things going, and she's got things going, okay? Trust me on this. You don't have to. There may be some bumps in the road. There always is. But give it time. So, that being said, I want to thank her for taking the time. I want to thank the people for the Cask Wars of Last Best Brewing, of Big Rock, and the events, and also of Canadian Craft. Craft. Yeah. There's too many C's in that damn thing. Of the Canadian Craft Company, not the craft beer ones, or the ones that are sending out those nice little surprise packages, for actually taking the time to talk to me, and for everybody else that was patient about this. Like this was a Canada Craft Club, and I said Canadian. God, I'll get it right. I swear. It was actually a lot of fun tonight. I actually sat down in a new place. Midtown is a great place to go. They even got a fee for, or like a club there at Metrotown where you spend $75 and you get these beers, get your own personalized cup and everything else for a decent price, and it doesn't cost you anything. Well, it does cost you money, but it's cheaper for getting these beers inside if you keep bringing back your cups, which is pretty awesome. I find that's actually quite neat. I never even knew about this place. So it's good to see that this is another upcoming craft pub beer slash uptown snooty hooty tooty thingy, which I would visit again because it was actually really nice. The bartender was super nice to me, helped me out because I was in there just blinder than a bat, not knowing what the hell I was looking for. So tonight was a lot of fun. It was a learning experience, drinking experience. And it's something that I probably will do again. I went to one of the Cask War before, and that's when the Stampeders had one at Wild Rose Brewery, and it was a lot of fun. This one was really good too, because you have Boys the Big Rock there, waiting to see who won, the boys over at Last Best, the boys and girls, I should say, the folks, because I'm got to be PC or something. And it was entertaining. But yeah, you've seen my photos on Facebook. You've seen them on Twitter for that one. And again, give these guys a Canada Craft Club. Give them a bit of time. They're getting their legs. They should come out running, but someone turned around and tripped them up with all these orders and all these things that came up. And they had everything go wrong, but they did their best. They did what they could to make sure that everybody got something. It wasn't the best, but they got something. So yeah. So aside from that, what do I personally have coming up? Well, I've got a big thing happening. The 100th episode's coming up. I've got enough reviews up to 99. I've hit 99. That episode 100 really needs to take flight soon. And it will. I'll be talking to people that I have to. I will be arranging with things that I've got to do. And I will make something happen with the 100th episode. I want this to be good. I want this to be big. I'm going to be skipping the 30-year anniversary, as I said. Sorry. And I'm going to possibly, well, I kind of don't, but I kind of do. But the 30-year anniversary is supposed to be coming up in just a few weeks because it's the same date and I did the Oscars. And I've got enough material that 30-year anniversary is just going to pretty much peter by. I will make an announcement about it saying, yay, it's our 30th year, but that's about it. The 100th episode is my bigger thing right now. I actually had a lot of people enjoy what we did with our candy cane vodka. And if you guys haven't seen it, please check it out on our YouTube. It's really good. It's really good. So there's a lot of things coming up. I want to start working on the crafts beer kit here. Well, I guess it's kind of a beer kit. I just want to work on beer kit just to do a little blurb about it because that's going to be pretty cool. I got a bunch of other things, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of work and a lot of drinking. Okay, when you drink, you don't do a lot of work. You know what I'm saying. So we got a great amount of things coming up, and I just want to say thank you, everybody. It was a great time. I had a lot of fun tonight, and I'll be back. I'm sure I'll be back. But yeah, for everyone that's watching, thanks again. I've got to go get ready and got another work day tomorrow. Yay! I love my job. I really do. It's just getting up early. It's a pain in the ass. But for now, folks, thanks again. That's my rebuttal. Tonight was a lot of fun. I hope to do more of it. And to the people I've met, thank you. Awesome. To the people I've missed out on meeting on, you know, I was tweeting, I was doing everything else. You weren't paying attention to my tweets, and I'm gonna blame. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to anyone else's either, so it was kind of 50-50 split. But I was there for a couple of reasons. So until next time, we'll get together with other people. I swear. But for now, folks, thanks again. We'll talk to you real soon. Stay frosty. Cheers. Enjoy the beers. And I've got more reviews coming out. I've got one editing right now. And yeah, there's going to be a few of them. And they're going to be good. It was a lot of fun filming them, I have to say. We'll talk to you again real soon. Have a good night.